All right. I think I see Godley coming out of the pits, followed by one of the Ferraris, and then followed by a McLaren, probably AJ. Well, tonight here for you, we got our Tuesday night crowd out here. Got our realistic division. So that is realistic car performance for everybody out here. Who disqualified? Alright, hasn't even been 60 seconds yet. Well, someone's typing in chat. I think I'm about to find out what just happened just right then. I don't know if two cars collided and DNF'd and what? Well, anyway, with that out of the way. So that's what happened. So we had AJ in that McLaren coming out of the pit exit, or somewhere in pit exit, hitting a wall and being stopped on track. And then William had no choice but to completely stop on track as well and park it. And that DQ'd him as well. That's one way to start it. Especially when Josh up there in the kick is the current driver, the leading driver in our championship, with tonight being the final race. William taking a DQ, who's currently in P2 in the drivers championship. So William's gonna have a lot of work ahead of him. As we get our first time up on that scoreboard there, followed by Rocket right behind Godley. So 23-7, that's not going to stand for very long. That's definitely going to get beat. Godley and Rocket could have just been setting a banker lap, is what maybe that might have been. We might be resetting this lobby because of the DQ we just had here. Not sure what's going on. Okay, maybe not. I think we're gonna keep going. Godley with that 23.7 still standing. So Hamilton coming in with that 24 flat, I'll call it. Still mighty impressive to only be about 3/10 behind a Mercedes with the realistic performance on, so still a heck of a lap. So Maru putting in his banker lap as he starts his first official hot lap. Dante also out in the other Haas car, coming around the last two bends, putting in his first lap. Ooh, completely takes out that traffic cone there at the final corner. We got a Haas 2-3 at the moment. So Dante coming in with that 23.77 by about half a tenth, right behind Godley. So almost clinching pole here. We're following on board here with a Maru. Already with a banker lap, finishing his hot lap. Right here at the tail end of Sector 3, so let's see what his official time is going to be. So Maru jumping up, also another 23.7, that's 3 drivers. Our top 3, all within about half a tenth of each other. This KBT and that McLaren also coming around. Deciding to come into the pits, actually. KBT currently sitting in P6. We stay on board with Rocket. The Rocket doing his second hot lap. Unless the time we see on the board right now was his banker lap, I'm not too sure. The Rocket with a purple sector 2. Unless that's the game lying to me. I honestly don't know. But coming around the last 2 corners. So Rocket currently sitting at 24.7. And Rocket by, what is that, about half a tenth, beating out Godley, who was the pole sitter. Rocket beating him out with that 23.6. So Godley already out on track, just starting his hot lap. He's going to try to reclaim that pole position. He doesn't need to make up too much time to reclaim it. Only needs about half a tenth to take that back away from Rocket. Hop back on board with MFG here, boss man Michael. He's going to set down his first lap of this qualifying session. He comes around the final corner. And I was not expecting this one, but MFG, top dog, taking the pole position away from Rocket. So MFG coming across with that 23.55. beating out Rocket by about a tenth. But Rocket about to finish up his second hot lap. Almost goes a little too wide there in sector 3. So he's not abandoning his lap, so he must have improved. As now Godly takes the spot away from Michael. And now it looks like we're going to have a double Mercedes up at the front row. Still have just under 7 minutes to go, but Godly crossing the line, beating his teammate out by a tenth. That 23.45. We're on board with Sinner here in the RB. The Sinner currently sitting P9, trying to improve, so doesn't go into the pits, so he might have been up on his delta as Sinner crosses the line P6 with that 23.8. I think I'm going to leave it right here. On board with Black Spartan and that Aston Martin with a 23.888. And then also I see Josh coming out a little earlier than he normally does. Josh always waits until the very end of the session to finally come out and prove everybody that he's the man. The Black Spartan invalidating his lap, so opting to come into the pits. As we hop on board with Josh, one of two drivers that is not a reserve, that still has not put a lap in. He comes around the final corner, your championship leader. And Josh claiming pole. Taking that away from Godly there. Making sure we don't see a front row lockout from the Mercedes. Josh coming through with that 23.38. I also have Rocket crossing the line, improving on his time by a little bit, claiming that P4 position. So we got Hamilton and the Haas also out on a lap. Maru coming through. I think opting to do 2 at-laps from him. But I think Rocket, currently the only car on track, currently on a hot lap as we have 4 minutes left of this session. So Rocket currently P4. If he wants to take pole away from Josh, he's going to have to make 3/10 and find it somewhere out there on that track. It's going to be really challenging for him to do, especially with a man like Josh out there. So now Rocket coming around. Final 2 corners. This might be his last lap of this session. Just about 3 minutes to go. So Rocket not able to improve. Settling for P4 unless someone else has something to say about it. We do see about half the field that's not a reserve driver currently still sitting in the pits. We hop on board with Amaru. Finishing up his second hot lap. Currently sitting P7, but I think he might have abandoned. I think he has enough fuel for another lap. He's trying to get a little recharge in. So we're going to hop on board with MFG. MFG currently sitting P3 in that Mercedes. Trying to make it a P2, if not maybe P1. If he can find a couple of tenths somewhere. All he needs is about 2 tenths. That should knock down Josh out of that pole position. Alright, game, don't lie to me. I saw he got purple sector too. MFG coming around, 3 corners to go. Deciding to stay out, so he must have improved. A little slippy on the last corner there. MFG not really making much of a move there. We only have about a minute and a half left of this session. MFG having to settle with that 23.5. We do have a Maru currently sitting P7 right now, trying to improve. If he just makes up 1/10, he'll jump up 3, maybe even 4 spots. So Maru crossing the line with a minute to go. That'll be his session over. So not able to improve in that Aston there. He'll settle for P7. So Gary currently doing his first hot lap. Some time is better than having no time at all. So better late than never. We have at least half the field out on the track right now. Gonna get their hot laps in. Ooh. I almost caught that on camera too. Hopping on board with Gary as he finishes out his first hot lap of this session. Definitely with the clock hitting 0, you do not want to invalidate. Gary making up a couple of positions there. Currently sitting P10. And I think this might be Godly. Yep, coming through the last corner right now in that Merc. Oh, so Godly taking that P1 position away from Josh. We had 3 or 4 pole position swaps. Mr. Allen Toast crossing the line, jumping up to P4, knocking Rocket down a peg. With both Haas drivers coming around, Dante not able to improve, sitting in P7 along with his teammate Hamilton in P6. Josh comes across the line, finishing his second hot lap. He's going to reclaim P1 position again. I think that's just going to about do it for qualifying here, as both kick drivers making a Mercedes sandwich up there in those top 4 spots up there, followed by Rocket and that RB, and then we have both Haas drivers starting P6 and P7. That's a solid start from them. Then we have Amaru in P8, followed by Sinner P9. Then we got Black Spartan, KBT, and Gary. That's going to wrap up the end of our full-time drivers. Just as a reminder, our reserve drivers are not allowed to qualify. They are allowed to get their setup in and do their out lap, and then come straight into the pits and make sure they do not set a lap time, as they are to start in the back of the field. So this is going to be our starting order. So we got Josh and Godly in our front row, followed by MFG and Allen Toast. We got Rocket, Hamilton, Dante, Omaru, Sinner, Black Spartan, KBT, Gary. And for our reserve drivers, starting in P13, we got Fitz, Underdog, And then, unfortunately, we did have William and AJ disqualifying at the very start of this qualifying session in that the pit exit there. We had a car on track that was stuck, and then William unfortunately happened to park it right behind him, and the game unfortunately is going to DQ him from qualifying. It's a little bit of a mishap at the beginning there, but I guess no need for a lobby restart. But we're gonna take a little bit of a break here. We're gonna give our drivers about 4 or 5 minutes here to get their setup and their strategy in order, and then we'll resume racing here in about 5 minutes. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Oh shoot, we're going. So here we go, 5 lights. And we are racing here at Abu Dhabi, round 10, final round of this season. So I'm going to hop on board with some of our drivers here as we go too wide through some of these corners. The traffic cone getting knocked away. We have a ghosted car of MFG. I think I did see MFG maybe lose connection and maybe rejoin. As we go down into what? Turn 6? Trying to get a good angle going on. I think I saw Gary losing some positions there. A little bit of a two-way battle here, going into the second backstretch between Underdog and KBT. Don't expect neither of those drivers to fight each other. As William getting around center there, going down the inside. So nothing too crazy happening on our opening lap. That's good to see. A little bit of recharge from William there. I think William made up 4 spots on that opening lap, so definitely a little bit of battery consumption as he has a long way to go to the front of this field. So both Mercedes drivers starting in P2 and P3, losing a lot of spots there for the team. Let's get some stats up here on the board here. See what we're looking at. We do see a little bit of a gap starting to form between P3 and P4. Our podium drivers at the moment. A little bit of clear space. As we look at position change, so MFG, not sure if he had total control of his car at the start of the race. Still not sure if he does. He's holding onto the back of AJ, so he might have returned and taken control of his car by now. MFG, I'm sure not happy with that one. So Godly, the other Mercedes, dropping down, losing 5 spots. Everybody else moves up. I see both Astons, got Omaru and Black Spartan, both making up 4 positions on that opening lap. William already making his charge and continuing as he is up 7 positions, starting from P15, now in P8. Josh, our pole sitter, retains P1 as we go into the start of lap 3. And I see Dante going to be our first pit stop of this race. So Dante with only what I could assume is a wing change. Let's see what we're looking at tires. So it looks like at least half the field, if not a little bit more than half of the field, opted to start for the mediums. Got a lot of our hard runners that started at the back of the pack. Opting to start on the hards. So their strategy going to be on the faster tire at the end of this race. We see William right here getting by another driver. The DRS is going to be open now. We do have some gaps forming up. A really big gap right here in front of William. Currently in P8. Fighting with Underdog here. They're going to go too wide down into turn 1. The Underdog giving way for William to go in front of him. That might be the smart move. He's going to have DRS here in a second. Underdog dives down the bottom. gonna have DRS and already be in front of him here. So nothing William can do about that one as he loses one spot and maybe another one to KBT. And Sinner almost close enough to William to get the pass done, but we continue. So DRS open again. It's a double DRS zone back here in Sector 2. The Sinner trying to make a look on KBT there, not able to get around him. I always enjoy watching these midfield battles. There's always a lot of jostling for position. It's not as boring as watching anybody that's up at the front. All the action is right here in the middle. So we hop on board with Gary. So Gary taking a spill at the start of that race. Currently sitting in P14. Behind AJ here in the McLaren in front of him. So Gary gonna have a little bit of help with DRS, but AJ also with DRS, so I'm not sure if the pass is... yeah, I don't think that pass is gonna happen. Aim for AJ, just too far apart. So William, I believe, just got double overtaken. So William with no DRS there. Now KBT and the McLaren, the one out of DRS, as he's going to lose 2 positions here. A little bit of leapfrog going on between Sinner and William, getting around KBT and that McLaren. I think we're going to start to see this 4-car battle start to stretch apart now. We're going to catch these guys in a second. Ooh, William taking a 3-second time penalty early. We do have a little bit of a spin. That was Godley there, coming out of the final corner. And that Mercedes, Godley losing even more position, so this is not the start that Team Mercedes was really hoping for today. So KBT on the back of William here. William, I do not think got DRS off of Sinner, as KBT might be able to get the move done easily. You see KBT down the inside, gonna make the pass happen easily. Almost no contest from William there, as William might be able to pass him right back. As both drivers, yep. So both drivers playing a little bit of leapfrog to catch up the rest, catch up to the rest of the pack here. So very smart, very clean driving from the both of them. Let's see what's going on up here. So both of our kick drivers currently just chilling in P1 and P2. So good start from Josh, starting out on pole, now with a 2.5 second gap from his teammate, Alan Toast, who started P4, making up 2 spots. But that's enough of this. Watching the leaders is boring. Back to the action. As we sit here with Rocket, currently sitting P3. Got a couple of cars behind him in this short DRS train. So no passes gonna happen this lap, but Amaru and Hamilton catching up to him very closely as we go into the second dose of DRS in this Sector 2. So it looks like Amaru doing a little bit of a switchback, or maybe a fake. Amaru going down the outside of Rocket, gonna get the pass done with DRS to his advantage. So we still have William and KBC back here, the battle for P9, trying to work together, maybe. And then William's not going to try to work together for too long, as he has a lot to go to catch the front of this pack. And Josh's commanding lead now stretching to 3.5 seconds to his teammate. And that is really impressive from both of those drivers, both Josh and Toast. Because remember, this is our realistic division in IUF1. Realistic division meaning all the cars are set to realistic car performance. So to be out there in a kick and leading this race, you know Josh is one heck of a driver there, as the gap now stretches to 4 seconds. So Josh's teammate, Mr. Alan Toast, under pressure a little bit, as Alan Toast has a little bit of a train behind him. And now Toast under threat from the Aston. Coming down the second dose of DRS. There's a little bit of contact, but nothing too serious. So was Alan, gets a little slippy there, riding over the apex on the inside of that corner. Gonna easily let Amaru get around him. Now Alan has some more trouble lurking right behind him in his rearview mirror, as he has both Rocket and Hamilton sitting very close by, ready to pounce. And we're gonna see an early pit stop from Alan there, maybe trying his best not to battle, unless he might have had wing damage. I don't think so. So Alan opting to go for an early pit stop, not trying to battle too much and lose too much time there. So we might be catching up with him later in this race to see if this early pit stop and the undercut is going to work out for him. So the rest of the field, start at lap 9, everyone really stretched out now, like an accordion almost. We don't really have no long DRS trains anymore. The field's starting to break apart a little bit. So Fitz looking down the inside of AJ, not able to get it done. Missed his braking point almost. Ooh, we're gonna see a double overtake here on Godley. Godley gets passed by both Fitz and Gary on the same DRS straight. As you saw, I think it was turn 6, or no, turn 7, Godley must have spun out a little bit, costing him 2, if not 3 positions there, as we see another pit stop happening. 2 pit stops happening, a lot of... Ooh, I don't know about this call. Even on lap 9 was early, and lap 10. And we're gonna see a retirement from Alan Toast. I'm not sure what the deal with that one was. So Alan Toast deciding to retire from this race in the pits. I thought he was doing really good. I'm not sure why he might have wanted to retire here. But we race on. Alright, so we're going to have ourselves a little bit of a 4-car battle here. The battle for P8. So Gary getting around AJ with DRS, and Fitz not quite close enough. So Fitz only going to lose 1 position there. We have a really good seat right here from Godley's position. It was the McLaren from AJ completely missing his braking point. He's going to lose 2 positions. As Fitz and Gary, that's one less driver they're going to have to worry about then. We're seeing some more medium runners start to come into the pits to cover off the undercut. I think I know what happened. Maybe. With Alan Toast, I think he started on mediums. Oh. Don't worry, Godly, no one saw that. Rocket might have saw that. But trust me, no one else saw. But what I was saying with Alan Toast, I think he might have started mediums. And then might have went into the pits and put another set of mediums on. I think he knows that his race might have been over just from that mishap. That's just my guess. I'm not sure exactly what happened or his reasoning. I think he went from mediums to mediums, and I think that might have ruined his race. So the man to be watching right now is definitely Rocket at the moment, going for that very early pit stop. We're gonna see 2 more pit stops coming in. We got Amaru and Hamilton, the Aston Martin and that Haas coming in. So some very early pit stops from a lot of these medium runners. I mean, maybe lap 12 I can agree with. But I might have to ask Rocket why he pitted on lap 9. I think that was just a bit early. So a lot of our field is stretched out at the moment. A lot of our medium runners, except for Josh, opting to pit already. So a lot of hard runners out on track at the moment. The question is, when does Josh and speak of the devil? So Josh finally opting to come into the pits and put on those hards. Because Josh is going to have to cover off Rocket. So we're going to have ourselves a new race leader. So Rocket picking up the fastest lap of this race. These hards might be the better tire. Some tracks the hards just feel so much better than the mediums. So Rocket coming out of the pits right in front of Josh here. Josh is going to get a little bit of DRS, of course, still on cold tires. But I think Josh not opting to use DRS to his advantage and get the overtake done is he's going to wait. Charge that battery and maybe get him on the next one. So even though these two drivers are battling for P4, this is the battle for the lead right here. Oh. Look out. So I believe that might have been KBT there. And those 12 lap old hards taking a little bit of a spill. It's going to cost him, oh, looks like over a handful of positions there. Not sure if he's going to want to come into the pits. Might be a little early for those mediums. Well, we are almost to the halfway point of this race. Okay, as KBT's fitting a wing, that does make sense then. You're definitely gonna need your wing here at Abu Dhabi. Make sure you don't leave that at home. We hop on board with Gary. So Gary, the fight with Fitz there. He leaps in front of the Ferrari there of Fitz. So Gary's sitting in P5. So Gary, I think he might have started P14 or somewhere. He's on 13 lap old hards, so he's gonna have to be going in. So still expecting 4, if not 5. Ooh, pit stops to happen. So a little bit of contact there between that Alpine and that Ferrari coming out of that final corner, or rather at the apex. With Ferrari hitting the back of Gary there, putting both cars in a spin. And Amaru's gonna end up capitalizing on the moment, overtaking both drivers. So Amaru sitting in P5. So William still on the charge to make his way up through the field. So William currently sitting P7 at the moment after starting in P15. So that is 8 positions gained, or 7 rather. As we just get about to the halfway mark of this race. So surprisingly, no safety cars as we go past the halfway mark. So William opting to go down the inside on Gary into turn 6 there. So William already in front and with the DRS open. So Williams still able to retain his position as the 2 cars behind him, Black Spartan and Gary, swapping positions on the second dose of DRS back there of Sector 2. So it looks like Black Spartan's still within DRS range of William. But William just able to pull away just enough. So as we see William losing P6 Black Spartan, the Black Spartan with double DRS, able to make that pass happen. So as we go in to the start of lap 18, we got 12 laps to go. We have ourselves a little bit of position change going on at the entrance of turn 6 there, so a little bit of a 3-car battle for second. If this battle consists until the end of this race, we're going to be looking at all 3 of these guys just trying to fight for the spot for podium. So we're going to see Sinner here, and followed by Underdog in front of him. Coming off of these hards. Personally, I think they could have pitched a little sooner. Well, can't believe we made it this far into the race and to see no DNFs. Man, where I'm almost falling asleep over here. So Black Spartan able to get around William, and now Black Spartan on the back of this Haas. So Hamilton in a little bit of a pickle here, not sure what he can do. So a little bit of a 3-car train, starting with Black Spartan, between Spartan, Hamilton, and Underdog. The only, well, no, Sinner did pit. I just don't think Sinner's wheels are gonna make it all the way to the end. Alright, so we see, ooh, coming down the first dose of DRS. Hamilton almost looking for a look, but smartly decides to back off. But this 3-car battle for P4 continues. That's not good. Alright, so Hamilton should get the easy pass done here. Oh, actually? We got ourselves a safety car, our first one of the race. Skinner and that RB gonna take his toll. Over the first safety car out. I would expect a lot of drivers to come in and maybe fit those soft sides. I'm gonna take myself a little bit of a commentator break. Yeah, definitely a lot of cars coming in for what I would assume to be the softs. It looks like we're either gonna have a 5-lap shootout or a 6-lap shootout. Well, sorry Josh that I haven't had the camera on you much, but we're just too far. So I think we're gonna have one more lap of safety car, so at the beginning of lap 25. So yeah, looks like we're gonna get ourselves a 5-lap shootout. Alright. Ooh. A little bit of a mixed bag between the softs and the mediums here. We're gonna have ourselves a 5-lap shootout. It is in that weird crossover where I'm not really sure which tire is going to be the best. Softs are definitely going to have way more advantage at the start here when we go green. But lap 28 and definitely lap 29, those medium runners are going to start coming back. So Josh almost thought he had this win in the bag, but now he's going to be under threat here. A safety car is in this lap. I really wish the safety car would come in a lot sooner. Give these drivers plenty of time to slow down. The safety car in. And Josh opting to go late here. So not catching anybody sleeping. Although he might catch me sleeping here. So everyone following in really nicely single file. So no DRS available this lap. Everyone's still single file coming out of that hairpin. A little bit of a battle back here in the back here. At KBT in fifth as KBT gets around the Ferrari. No DRS needed apparently. Alright, we got a little bit of side-by-side action. Battle for P8 between AJ and Gary, but I think AJ backs out of it. So Hamilton all over the back of William here. So as we go into the start of lap 9, the DRS is now enabled. We're going to have 4 laps of DRS. So I'm really curious to see what's going to happen here. But Josh, a little bit of a sitting duck, but I don't think Rocket is close enough to get the pass done. This Rocket absolutely draining his battery. Oh, or maybe not. So Josh using a lot of his battery, already down to 40%. Trying to defend the position. And we have ourselves a new race leader. So Rocket desperately needs his softs to work for him here and start the gap to happen, but Josh doing a really good job of keeping right behind him on those mediums. As we go into the start of lap 27, so Rocket picking up the hot one. I don't think Josh is too worried at the moment. We'll have a few laps to go as Josh should be able to get the pass back and reclaim the lead. So DRS helping him out here. The Rocket forcing Josh to have to go around the outside. But now it becomes the inside as Josh gets around, and Underdog also getting around. Rocket losing 2 positions there, and that chicane. Maybe even losing a 3rd position from Amaru in that Aston. So Amaru, not enough speed to get it done, so Rocket's going to lose 2 positions instead of just the 1. So Underdog in a really good position in this race. After starting in almost last. Of course, that being a reserve driver. And reserve drivers are forced to start in the back. We do have a little bit of a gap. Starting to form, so now we have ourselves 2 trains. We had our top 6 drivers. And then everybody else. Oh, top 7 actually, my bad. So definitely Omaru and William, both in P4 and P5, both with penalties. Definitely going to be losing 2 spots at the end of the race, because we just have a lap and a half to go. But Josh, even though with DRS behind him, not able to lose a position as Amaru takes a little bit of a toll there. He's going to lose 3 or 4. So Godly with DRS, not able to get around AJ there. So we have 4 sectors to go. And I think we're going to crown ourselves a victor here. So of course Josh leading the Drivers' Championship with about 30 or more points. And tonight obviously being our last round of the season in our Season 9 for our realistic division. So Josh already with a 1.2 second gap to the car behind. So those soft runners, their tires might start to be falling off now. Oh, a little bit of a dive bomb there from Rocket. Not able to get it done as Underdog is going to retain P2. A little bit of a wheel spin. Runs into Rocket there. Holy smokes, what is going on right here? That was a little bit too much for me to commentate over. So Underdog losing 3 positions there, fighting with Rocket. It's both Hamilton and William both slipping through. And I think that's gonna about do it. There's not much these drivers can do. So there you have it. We're gonna have Josh cross the line, winning the race and the Drivers' Championship. Really good stuff from him. As we see some last lap penalties being thrown onto the board there. That's gonna do it here. That's gonna wrap up Season 9 in our realistic division here in IUF1. So Josh taking the win and the Drivers' Championship along with it. And Underdog D of the D, starting from all the way in the back and finding his way up into the front there. So here's your official results. We got Josh in that kick. Good drive from him, starting pole, finishing first. Followed by Hamilton and Rocket, wrapping up the rest of the podium. And then we do have Underdog, followed by Omaru, Godly, Dante, William, AJ, MFG, Black Spartan, KBT, Gary, Fitz, Sinner, and Alan Toast, wrapping up the rest of this field. So thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate the views, or if you're going back into our channel here and just watching the replay for yourself, appreciate that too. Thanks for tuning in. We race tomorrow night at 7 o'clock Eastern time. We got Tier 1 tomorrow. So, and of course, Abu Dhabi as well. I think Josh might be winning in that division as well, so I don't know. So, thanks for checking in. Really appreciate it, and we'll catch you in the next one.